Okay, setting a proper motivation, which consists of three parts: refuge field, bodhicitta field, and the purpose of this practice. Refuge field, visualize your two kind parents. Sorry, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, particularly Bodhisattva, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the enlightened beings, and how you visualize them as so loving, caring, and embracing. Bodhicitta field, visualize your two parents. And some of you might have difficulty with your parents, particularly your mother, but in reality, these are all the indications of our being ordinary person. And it doesn't mean that it is your mistake. It is simply we need to develop, we need to cultivate ourselves, upgrade ourselves from being ordinary to more evolved. Meaning that as an ordinary person, we are never happy, and as we become more evolved, you become happier. So the when a man in which the mother is so happy, even though the child is so naughty, just to see the child, there's too much joy in the mother's mind. This is exactly what we are intended to develop, the quality of. However, say the mischievous, wrongdoing, other person is including your parents, but here you're going to cultivate yourself, develop yourself to the extent that you see everyone is suffering because of the ignorance, and the true nature is so pure. So if it is the case that they also get opportunity as you got, they will also be evolved, they will also behave, they do so nice, being so kind and so forth. So out of great compassion, it should be rather the reason for you to feel more compassionate rather than feeling the angry or disliking towards the parents. So this is the meaning of being evolved, becoming evolved, and that you become a happier person. So your children and all the other sentient beings here in Bodhgaya, and as I said earlier, in the early days, that you see that wherever you go in Bodhgaya, you see there's so many the poor people, the cripples and so forth. It's not because that this is a place where all these people somehow they take birth. No, they come from all the different places, knowing that this is a place where people will not abandon them. This is why they come here. And if we cannot think in that direction, we may think that what happened? This is a place with Buddha and everybody is so poor. No, that's not true. And people who are very rich, who do not have the merit to meet with the teaching of the Buddha, who are born in this place, they all go away. And those people who really need help and support, love and affection, they see that in many of the places there's no way to go. So this is a place where they can at least get some food, and that people will not just mercilessly throw you out and kick you out. So this is what the confidence that they got. This is a big compliment to the teachings of Buddha, that this is the teaching of Buddha which makes the people who follow him to become more compassionate, to become more loving, caring, and not rejecting. So this is why these people are drawn from many other places to here. So let us think of all these, all of them, and even the tiny animals, insects, and the local spirits, hungry ghosts, helpings, god and goddesses in this world, in our own country, in the Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe. And that you are so loving, caring, embracing to them. And the purpose of this practice, to start from the scratch, is to seek total fearlessness, total miserylessness, and infinite happiness. And we have the seed of these within us, which is known as Buddha nature. Why these seeds are not manifested yet is because these are defiled by these are obscured by the mental defilements. And we need to get rid of these, and automatically the potential insight, the potential of perfection will become manifest. And to get rid of these, we need to know the nature of these. These are two kinds, gross. These defilements are of two kinds, gross and subtle. Gross one referred to as afflictive obscurations, the presence of which stops us from attaining total fearlessness or to be liberated from miseries. And this gross one is constituted of contaminated karmas, afflictions, and the active seeds of these two. And subtle ones referred to as the cognitive obscurations. The presence of these block us from attaining infinite happiness, referred to as Buddhahood. And how to get rid of these is by knowing that all these defilements, somehow they are connected to the ignorance, self-grasping ignorance, either in the form of the offshoots of the ignorance or the subtle stains. So we need to get rid of these by resorting to a very powerful remedy, which is just a countermeasure, counter force of this ignorance. What is that? That is the wisdom of emptiness. So the whole purpose of our being together here primarily is to activate this wisdom of emptiness, meanwhile not neglecting to remember the driving force, the impetus, the driving force to make this wisdom very powerful. That is the bodhicitta, the altruistic mind of bodhicitta. And this bodhicitta must be supported by the renunciation, realizing the truth and the efficacy of the four seals in relation to you. That as long as I don't see the wisdom, I don't have the wisdom of emptiness, I will never, my dream, the unconventional dream of the miseries will never stop. It will keep perpetuating. So with this in mind, the whole purpose is to activate this wisdom, bodhicitta, and the renunciation, supported by the single-pointed meditation, shamatha meditation. And this is what for we came here. The study of eventually we need to have the wisdom draw through meditation, which in turn must be grounded, which should happen only through the wisdom draw through reflection, the conviction that you gain, and which is possible only through extensive study, which will give rise to wisdom draw through learning. So with this purpose keep in mind, imagine that you are leading this recitation and all the dear brothers and sisters are joining us, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are watching us. Page 3. And here's by great compassion, you taught the macro Dharma to spread all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And here's by great compassion, you taught the macro Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And here's by great compassion, you taught the macro Dharma to dispel all perverted views. To you, the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations or practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sanje joda soge chonam da chanjo bardo dani gyalso che dage jinso gebe sonam ge dola penjire sanje dubare sho Sanje joda soge chonam da chanjo bardo dani gyalso che dage jinso gebe sonam ge dola penjire sanje dubare sho Sanje joda soge chonam na chanjo dane gyalso che dage jinso kebe sonam ge dola penjire sanje dubare sho independent origination. There is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, the one who taught this peace, which is free of elaborations. I prostrate to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all needs, hearing, seeking, specifically complete peace, which through the knowledge of paths, courses, those helping my greatest achieve the aims of the world, and through the possession of which helps subdue us expand a variety of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated baptism to benefit sentient beings, the teacher, Sugata, and protector to you of my prostrations. The one who has eliminated the web of conceptualizations and is endowed with the divine bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha make prostrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today in the Buddha's presence, I journey about a full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Dathagato Hyevatat Desham Chayo Nirodham Evam Bhati Mahashramana Yeswaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Dathagato Hyevatat Desham Chayo Nirodham Evam Vati Mahashramana Yeswaha. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Desham Dathagato Hyevatat Desham Chayo Nirodham Evam Vati Mahashramana Yeswaha. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata, the cessational causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound, peaceful, elaboration-free, clear light and non-composite, such as nectar like Dharma I have discovered, finding no one who can fathom this teaching in silence or return to the words. Beyond utterance, thought and expression is the perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unceased and has the nature of space, is the object of apprehension of self-realized wisdom. To you, the mother of the Buddhas of the three times, are the obeisance. All composite things are impermanent, all contaminated things are suffering. All phenomena, their nature are emptiness and selflessness, transcending sorrow is peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dharma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha. The Guru is also everything wholesome. I go for refuge in the Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expanse of billions of eons. The Buddha does not watch the negativities of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred to them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine the light of Dharma for all bewildered and miseries glow. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have the view. Page 14. And let us try to remember three things when we recite and when we do any kind of recitation. That the words flow, meaning is reflected, and later on you will come to see the difference, obvious difference. As the meaning flows gradually, you could feel that physiologically, you will see that some movement takes place. Later on, not now, through some experience you will feel that. And movement doesn't mean like very visible movement, something you will feel inside, some changes happen. And where the words flow, your thoughts distract somewhere else, it's just words flow, that's it. That doesn't happen. The real transformation Gade, Gade, Bada, Gade. Real transformation is where you could feel the change inside, the movement inside. So this energy is a very subtle energy, which is not really discussed in Sutra system. And this is actually what really happens. And from this, then you see that this energy, you could feel expanding. This is where your compassion expands. And your energy, you see, it becomes subtle. It becomes subtle, more tranquil and subtle. That is when your experience of emptiness is deepening. So these two are related, the energy and the cognitive thought process. So the meanings of this is so important. One time, one of the distant relatives, he came to me and said that the last 20 years I've been reciting the verses, the scriptural, and the recitation I've been doing for the last 20 years. And now I realize that this person, who was 20 years ago, and now after 20 years, there's no difference, it's just the same person. So it did not really help me to bring about the transformation. Just anger, all these negative thoughts that I had is still with me, there's no change there. So where did I go wrong? This was his question. I said, okay, that's amazing that you've discovered that you have not transformed the last 20 years, despite the person being extremely pious. Imagine getting up early morning, like 3:30, 4, every day, and spend so much time in this, piously reading the verses, and to do all the offerings, prostrations, everything. And then he discovered the last 20 years, no change as a person. So I said, okay, now it's amazing that we have discovered it. Even this discovery is the first point to go to transformation. So what you do is that you give me a list of what you've been reciting. In 3 hours, here's a whole lot of things that he's reciting. I just cut many of these things and put it very succinctly. The word is very comprehensive, not bulky. I just gave a few things, and then I taught him how to meditate. Renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness, all these things. We had started the classes for series of classes for many days. Then finally we went for a retreat. So here is more like teaching retreat. So there it was more, two of us we meet 1 hour a day for teaching. The rest I give the instruction what to meditate, and he was doing it. Then he said that 1 month, he said that this 1 month is more productive than the last 20 years. 1 month I could see that, now I could see that there's a little bit of change happening within me. So therefore, what I'm saying is that words reflected, the words flow, the meaning is reflected, and whatever experience gained, invoked. These three things if happen, that would be wonderful. So this actually let you feel that you are progressing. And then how fast you move. This is also, Chelsea, your question, right? How fast you move. All this you'll see from this, that the transformation. Whereas the experience, even though you may not have the experience now, don't worry, just work on the first two. And the third, later on, keep in mind that this is also not to be missed. For example, when you recite the Hasud mantra, Gade, Gade, Para, Gade, Para, Samgade, Bodhisoha. So there, as you recite it, so how the transformation happens, how this upgradation happens, is by meditating emptiness. So you should remember emptiness once in a while as you recite the mantra. And then when you say, He Dharma Hetu Prabhava, Hetum Desham Tathagato Hyavartat. When you recite these first two lines, you should remember that self-grasping ignorance as the root of all the cause of the suffering. Desham Jayo Nirota Evam Bhati Mahashramane. So the last two lines when you recite is wisdom of emptiness that gets rid of all these causes of miseries and the miseries. So you think of the Desham Jayo Nirodha. When you say this, Nirodha is a cessation, you have to think of the emptiness. Think of the emptiness and feel it. Feel it, and then this word Nirodha has a tremendous power. You see that all my agitations subside. subsides. All my afflictions subsides. Self-grasping, ignorance subsides. Okay. Praise to Shakyamuni Buddha, to the founder, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the full destroyer, completely perfected, full awakened being, perfect in knowledge and good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the survivor from the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you are born on this earth, you pace of 7 strides, then set on supreme of this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, wind of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme science, face like a spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Prostrate like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparable wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you the Tathagata prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the low realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies I prostrate. Those who are liberated and also show the path to liberation, wholly feel qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the Sangha I prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform only perfect virtuous actions, subdue your mind thoroughly, this is a teaching of the Buddha. A star, a visual aberration, a flame of lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud, say conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the 4 faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by this which is a sickness and death. Okay, Heart Sutra, page 29. I prostrate to the Arya Triple Gem. Thus did I hear at one time. The Buddha was dwelling on Master Vulture's mountain in Rajgriha, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration of the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravadukatishvara looked upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravadukatishvara: how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound professional wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Aravadukatishvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra: Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of profound professional wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness of form. Emptiness is no other than form. Form is also no other than emptiness. In the same way, failing discrimination, composite factors, and consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unseen, stainless, not without, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no failing, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomenon. There is no I element and so on, up to and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging and death, and no extinction of aging and death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation of the path. There is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, and thus without fear, having completely passed beyond error, there is the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the 3 times also manifested complete awakened, unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment with reliance on the professional wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the professional wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to the unequaled, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth, since it is not false. The mantra of the professional wisdom is declared: Deyatha Om Gade Gade Bara Gade Bara Samgade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva should train in the profound professional of wisdom like that. Then the Buddha arose from that concentration and commanded the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. One should practice the profound professional wisdom just as you indicated, even the Tathagatas rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara, who surrendered the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha. Okay, as we start this Sahasra mantra, just imagine that you are in Rashgir, where the Buddha Shakyamuni is presiding over His Holiness, the Dalai is presiding over Avalokiteshvara is presiding over Shariputra is there, all the monks, nuns, bodhisattvas, lay devotees are there. And you are right in front, in the first row, and you accompanied by your two parents, children, and all their mothers with you. And imagine that Buddha Shakyamuni is directly talking to you, exhorting thus, hey, don't remain in the fears of samsara. Come to the ultimate happiness. Awaken your Buddha nature. And you, hearing this melodious voice of Buddha Shakyamuni, you're so inspired. We inform this to all your dear sentient beings. Look, this is what a compassionate teacher Buddha Shakyamuni is exhorting. Let us not remain in samsara anymore, in tears anymore. Let us all go towards the full awakening with Buddha Shakyamuni by awakening our Buddha nature, by resorting to a very powerful remedy, correct and the powerful remedy of the wisdom of emptiness, supported by bodhicitta and the renunciation. So everybody, hearing what you are saying, they are so inspired, they are so happy to join you in this journey of transcendental defilements to awaken the hidden treasure within you in the manifest form. By the teachings of the Sri Supreme Jewels possessing power of truth, may in and outer hindrance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-existent, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 obstacles be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this place now. Okay, today we'll read the three principal aspects of the path. Where is it? 77. Okay, 78. Okay, let's remember that the three principal aspects, what are they? Renunciation, bodhicitta, and the wisdom of emptiness. And shamatha is included in the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, 4. So what we have is 3 here. And here, they just see if you can identify today, after this, and then do the short breaks. Just try your best. Locate the 3 points, which each of the 3 points. What are they? What are 3 points with each of the 3 points? So there are 2 sets of 3 points. Oh yes. Why to cultivate the renunciation? How to cultivate the renunciation? And the measure of having cultivated renunciation. Likewise, bodhicitta and wisdom of emptiness. So your job is during the break time, not during the prayer and the morning practice and the first session, but maybe in the afternoon. Just check, go through this, and see which is which. Which is which, meaning which is the verse to identify, verse or the verses to indicate the reason why to cultivate renunciation, and which verse or verses for the how to cultivate, and finally which verse or verses the measure of having cultivated renunciation. Likewise for the bodhicitta and wisdom. Just try to do that. Actually, do it. Okay. The 3 principal aspects of the path by Lama Tsongkhapa. I bow down to the Venerable Lamas. As well as I am able, I will explain the essence of all teachings of the Buddha, the path praised by the conqueror's children, entrance for those who desire liberation. Listen with a clear mind, you fortunate ones who are not attached to the joys of secular existence. Strive to make good use of leisure and opportunity, and direct your minds to the path that pleases the Buddhas. Without pure renunciation, an end to attraction for the pleasures of secular existence is unattainable. The craving for existence also binds beings, thus from the outset seek renunciation. Reverse the attraction to this life by reflecting on how leisure and opportunity are difficult to find and how life is ephemeral and without span. Reverse attraction to future lives by repeatedly thinking of the infallibility of karma and its effects and the miseries of samsara. Contemplating thus, when for an instant you do not admire the splendors of secular existence and remain intent on liberation day and night, renunciation is born in you then. Renunciation, if not tempered by pure mind of bodhicitta, however, will not bring forth the perfect bliss of unsurpassed enlightenment. Therefore, the wise ones generate the excellent mind of bodhicitta, swept up in the current of the four more powerful rivers, tied by strong bodies of karma, so hard to undo, caught in the iron net of self-grasping, completely enveloped by the darkness of ignorance. Born and reborn in boundless secular existence, ceaselessly tormented by the three miseries. In this condition, generate the supreme mind of bodhicitta. Although you train in renunciation and the mind of bodhicitta, without wisdom that realizes ultimate reality, you cannot cut the root of secular existence. Therefore, strive to understand dependent arising. One who sees the infallible cause and effect of all phenomena in samsara and nirvana, and destroys all focuses of apprehension, has entered the path which pleases the Buddhas. Appearances are infallible dependent arising. Emptiness is understanding that is free of assertions. As long as these two are seen as distinct, you have not really realized the intent of the Buddha. When these two realizations are concurrent, where the mere sight of infallible dependent origination concurrently destroys all modes of grasping through definite discernment, at that time the analysis of the profound view is perfected. Furthermore, appearances refute the extreme of existence, emptiness refutes the extreme of non-existence. When you understand that emptiness that arises in the form of cause and effect, you are not captivated by the view of extremes. O my child, once you have thus realized the points of the three principal paths, seek solitude and cultivate the strong determination and quickly reach the final aspired goal. Okay, we'll read the 8 verses of my training, page 25. So as we read this, just if you have any issues with your family members, like your mother, father, and so forth, and it doesn't mean that you are the wrong person and all others are perfect. This is not the connotation. Remember the sound of the sound of the clap of the two hands. External factors are there, but the moment the agitation comes in you, agitation, sadness, pain, anxiety, the moment these things happen, no doubt it's whether you, me, anyone, the agitation comes, these two are acting on us. And of course, don't expect by attending one retreat or even like 5 years, 10 years and so forth, you can get rid of these. No, don't expect that. We must work. Our goal must be to work on to get rid of these two things. That is our job. So it will take time. And particularly when you actually work on this, you see how difficult it is to get rid of these two things. Then when you see somebody else who is really compassionate, who is really grounded, that the external factors cannot affect the person so much, when you see that, then you deeply feel a sense of rejoice. Wow, that's amazing. This is my role model. Role model doesn't mean that the person should be perfect, but that you see that this is something, the way we are learning is actually demonstrated by this lady, this girl, this boy. When you see that, then you will see the deep admiration. Otherwise, till you tackle this, you try this, and you cannot distinguish too much. Oh, he's kind, she's kind, that's it. Whereas when you go into this direction, you put yourself into this direction, and you see how difficult it is. It's so difficult. And then when you see somebody, that's amazing. In fact, in my life, I remember a few occasions. I know some of you here. I know. I'll not mention your name. Amazing. I really admire. I've been watching those people, and just remaining very low profile. And actually, so what they're doing is just amazing. And there was one the senior monk, very good in knowledge, Dharma knowledge, and two of us, we were just taking evening walk, and the road was very steep like this, and the two of us, we were going down. So our monastery is there, and so we walked up, now going down, and in the middle of the way, suddenly from behind there was a young boy, maybe age 10 or 11 or 12, cycling, and he lost control of the brake, and the cycle came so forcefully, and it hit him, the senior monk. It hit him very badly. It hit him, and the cycle was still going, and then the boy fell. This teacher, the senior monk, he jumped to pick the boy up, and actually he could actually scold, slap the boy, right? Don't know how to ride a cycle, and you hit me, right? No, his reflex action, the reflex that came out of him as a reaction to this was that he just jumped to pick up the boy, so that he doesn't get hurt too much. And then he was like, "Are you okay? Are you not injured?" Wow, I was so impressed. Normal reaction. I've seen that you will just, okay, who are you? Why did you hit me? You don't know how to do this. And then you pick him up, and then slowly, and then you hit him, beat him, scold him. No, this is a very spontaneous reaction of this teacher. I was so touched, so moved. Then it came to me that this is what we should go towards. Our reaction should eventually become like this, very spontaneously jumping to rescue, save, not to destroy. It's so beautiful. So just say how we do in a family. Just forget about outside people, in the family. Just simply because you are hurt, what is your reaction? Your instant. You cannot say, for example, somebody's in a family, one of the family members says something wrong to you, say something, which you don't want to hear, and then you instantly react to say something very harsh on the other person. Just think of that. This person will never talk like this if the person is happy. So my sister, my brother, my father, my mother must be very sad today, must be very unhappy today. Don't think of I'm hurt. Don't jump from your point of view. Jump from the point of view of others. Oh, today, strange. He doesn't talk like this otherwise. He must be unhappy. Something must be wrong. Okay, just don't react. Let him cool down. Don't react. The moment you don't react, the person will calm down. The person calms down, then say, okay, let's have a cup of tea, or can I help you? And you just try to distract the conversation, talk something else, and then see what's wrong with the person, meaning, say, what kind of problem the person has. Just check that. Always try to look from the side of the other person, be in the shoes of the other person. Don't react on the basis of from your point of view. And then the whole family will be extremely unhappy. Your workplace will be very unhappy if you always speak from your point of view. Think from your point of view. React from your point of view. Always from the point of view of the other person. So, the other person behave a little nastily. Generally speaking, they don't deliberately do that. It's because that there's something, agitation coming in their mind. Who likes to have the agitation? Nobody wants to have the agitation. You don't like the agitation. So, anybody who feels agitation, you should feel compassionate. Because the person is not deliberately cultivating the agitation. So you feel compassionate. You'll be able to speak from that person's point of view. And then try to help. Rather than, just react. So why I am like this, I am like this. This is what many people, even the family who consider, each other as extremely loving, caring, and so forth. When you are really there, you talk from I. There's one person who is with me and who, used to be with me and always very nice otherwise, little agitated, always I. I said, what is this I? Always this I. You don't see you. You don't see others. I. How do you say, oh, I'm very nice, I'm very happy today, thank you, I'm like this. No, I'm very unhappy. So when you say I, there's unhappiness. So this I actually does not really support you, does not really help you. It gives you unhappiness. So try to think of the other person more. Instantly this I will calm down. All problems are related to I. So this I calms down when you think of others' point of view. Then the I comes down and you're a happier person. What do you want? This I wants what? Happiness. Okay, so this is looking at the 8 ways of mind training. See if you can practice the way taught by this great teacher in your own family, in your workplace. Just see. Okay, and this teacher, Geshe Dorji Damdul, so he is revered as Geshe. The point is that today what we see as Geshe, it came from the 14th century AD. 14th century AD. So this, and actually root is way beyond that. That is not like having to sit for exams. No, you study well, you practice well, and then the people revere you as a Geshe in those days. So nowadays exams, right? Okay, so this great teacher, he was found to be. He was also referred. One of his epithets is that the wailing master. He always wails. Who always cries. The wailing master. Why? Because you find him always in the wilderness, in the forest, and then he takes some steps and cries. Again move, come back, again cries, again go back, just sit there, cries. He was actually meditating bodhicitta. Think of the other sentient beings. Okay, And there's also another anecdote which is very beautiful. I think I saw here. Okay, here we see that the Lama Adisha is here, and then next to that is Trungpa Gyaltsab, his student. Trungpa Gyaltsab, next meaning your left side, from the second from here, Shariputra, then Lama Adisha, and Trungpa Gyaltsab. Trungpa Gyaltsab, he was, of course, the student of Lama Adisha for many lifetimes. And he himself was a great teacher. So many students in his own local place. And he came all the way hearing about Lama Adisha visiting Tibet, go all the way to central Tibet. And then he never went back. He was always with his teacher. And the students from his local place, they would come to visit him. And one student came, and Trungpa Gyaltsab had a lot of students. He was inquiring about what is this student doing? And the visitor or his student, would say that, oh, he is doing so good. He is, and the offering mandalas, prostration days and nights. He does this. Then Trungpa Gyaltsab is, and the comment is very good, very good. What about this student doing? Oh, he is doing so good. He's giving teaching all the time, days, nights. Very good. Then what about that student? Oh, he is meditating all the time. Very good. And what is that student doing? That I don't know. He's always crying. He doesn't do anything. Then Trungpa Gyaltsab folded his hands, saying that this is the one who is actually doing the real Dharma, who is meditating bodhicitta. This is the real practice that person is doing. So he folded his hands. Yeah. Okay. So let's not forget this. Just see this and see how out of these 8 verses, see how many of the verses you can apply is relevant. You can apply in your life, in your family, in your workplace. Just see the relevance of this. Okay. 8 verses for training the mind by Geshe Dorji Damdul. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, which surpasses even the wish-fulfilling gem, may hold them dear at all times. Whenever I interact with someone, I view myself as the lowest amongst all, and from the very depths of my heart respectfully hold others as superior. In all my deeds, may I probe into my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I strongly confront them and avert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, may I hold them dear, for they are rare to find, as if I have discovered a jewel treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly with abuse, slander and scorn, may I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone whom I have helped or in whom I place great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard them still as my precious teacher. In brief, may I offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly. May I quietly take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the stains of age, maintained concerns, and may I, recognizing all things of delusions, devoid of clinging, be released from bondage. From our 2 collections, vast space that have amassed, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds, blinded by ignorance. Okay, 7 in practice. The next page. Excerpt from the King of Prayers, the extraordinary aspiration of the practice of Samatha. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, God of freedom in the present, past and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. To all of you with body, speech and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy or aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle of Buddhas, numberless as atom particles, each amazes a host of Bodhisattvas, and I'm confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With the infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugathas. Beautiful flowers and regal gardens, sweet music, scented walls and pedestals, sparkling lights and sublime incense offered to you victorious ones, the Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, scented with powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array offered to the victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with a body, speech and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I'll lift my heart, rejoice in all the merits of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the way stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn to Supreme Will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize Parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offerings and confessing, rejoicing, requesting that the Buddhas stay in teach, I now dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. Short mantra offering. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 400 ends the sun and the moon. I imagine this is a Buddha felt and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy the pure land. O Sajimbe Ge Joshe Four Dharmas of Venerable Kambapa. May we bless that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May we bless that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May we bless that the path is free of flaws. May we bless that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Okay, I'm going to quickly explain this. This is by Venerable Kambapa, the student of Jizumela, who in turn is the student of Jizumela, student of Jizumarpa. Jizumarpa, student of the great master Naropa. And the great master Naropa was a student of the great master Tilopa. Okay, so the Jesu Kambapa is the one, Jesu Kambapa, he's the one. Then his students, they spread to form what is known as today's Kagyu tradition. Today's Kagyu tradition, Kama Kagyu, Rupa Kagyu, Tipun Kagyu, and the Shamba Kagyu, the four major and the eight. So in fact, there's a little bit of the differences in the views, whether it's the four major and the eight minors or 4 and 8. That's it, no major minor, because this is a little bit of discussion. But the point is that all these divisions, they came from this great teacher, Gampopa. So this is very profound. In fact, the first three are applicable to us, and the last one is very profound. The last one will be applicable. We remember this, but will become applicable to us when our realization of emptiness and compassion become very sophisticated. Then it becomes relevant. Okay, first, let me quickly explain this. That it says, may be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dhamma. In Tibetan, which means that my mind, I say the Dharma and the non-Dharma, or the mundane of the two, may mind be directed towards the Dharma. Okay, which means that to think more of next life and after, rather than be obsessed with this life. This is known as the Dharma mind. The next one is, may I be blessed that my Dharma practice on the proper path. So this is a little translation. In Tibetan it is Chö Lamdu Lombar Chingulo. May my Dharma practice and the be okay, Chö Lamdu Lombar Lamlong. How do you translate the Tibetans? Hey. No, Lamdu Lombar, Lamlong, oh, Lamdu Chimbudu. What is that in English? Huh? Success? Yeah, success, yeah, so this is the language nuances. If you translate this as success in this context, it becomes a little on the word, not too accurate. Huh? No, it's very different way. Huh? In a way, it's right path. So what we have here is that I translate it as, not me, I think, yes, I think this is my translation. I translate it as, is on the proper path, Lamdu Longba. So usually a good translation is where, say, the words are not altered and the meaning is conveyed. Sometimes the words are not altered, then meaning gets disrupted. Sometimes the meaning is conveyed, the words are totally different. So the translation should be, at best, 100% is not possible. But to the best of the translator's ability, the language should be the same, similar to the main, what is called, source language. And the meaning should be conveyed well. Okay, so basically the idea is Lamdu Lombar Chingulo, meaning that my mind, say when I go into my mind to the Dharma, that it does not meet with any deterrent factors or any non-conducive factors like sickness, or say, okay, I'm going for the retreat and suddenly, oh, one of my relatives becomes sick, I have to stay back, I can't come for the retreat. So these are the obstacles. In other words, that my Dharma practice may not meet with obstacles. This is the perfect meaning. But then in Tibetan, it is like the proper path. Okay, that is, it doesn't meet with obstacles. This is number 2. Now number 3 is that may I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. Meaning that although there's no obstacle, you are physically healthy, nothing happened to your family, you come to, for Dharma, and somehow, let's say that the person, that the teacher, or your friends, among friends, say, what is this bodhicitta? There's no meditation. How much meditation you do in the morning session? Only 5 minutes. Where's meditation? Without meditation, how can you become Buddha, right? So we have this one tradition there, where it's always meditation, and here is talking all the time, right? There's no silence, right? So meditate. What is retreat? Retreat means retreat. You come out from the chaotic, noisy places. You retreat. Silence. No silence here, right? Okay, so such people can easily take you into the wrong direction, right? I say that this is the ideal retreat where you can become Buddha, right? Okay, so these we talk about it. Don't forget the comprehensive path, right? Comprehensive path. So I say even to build a house, small house, we need so many things which may not be eventually, once a house is built, there are many things which you don't need. You have to get rid of these. For example, the rafters to support the ceiling, all these things. When the house is built, don't keep the rafters all the time, the pillars, the hundreds of rafters inside to support the pillar. Get rid of these. You're getting it? So we require all these things, comprehensive path. Without the comprehensive path, people can easily be misguided. So therefore, this is the meaning of to be on the proper path, or to be, the path is free of flaws, that the path is the correct path. Then the next is, what if I do encounter with the, let's say, the flaws of the incorrect path? Then the fourth one, which is very sophisticated, very high level. When you become extremely advanced in your practice, then the correct path, incorrect path, it doesn't matter to you. It doesn't matter to you. For example, like, which is better, poison or the poison or delicious, the Italian pizza? Which is better? Italian pizza is better. Don't eat the poison. But when you become very strong yourself, like the peacocks, you eat poison, you eat pizza, no difference. For the peacock, poison purifies the peacock's body. Why poison? Because it damages you, right? Now for peacocks, the poison is not poison. It is the best of the food. It purifies you. So it says, may be blessed the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. Even the flaws meaning the poisons, they are the exalted wisdom. How? Let's say that you go to the statue shop, and there are two, statues. On one side, the statue of demons. On the other side, the statue of Buddha, Jesus Christ, Mother Teresa, His Holiness Dalai, and so forth. So, and okay, you go to this the side where you get this statue of demons. You buy this. Which you prefer to buy? Statue of demons or statue of the? Or the beautiful statue, or the damaged statue. Which do you want to buy? Beautiful statue. But even the damaged statue is also made of diamond. Let's say the statue of a person, statue of Michelangelo. Let's say Michelangelo. One is perfect and the other one is damaged, right? Damaged, and but you come to realize that you pick up what you see as the good one. Damaged was also made of diamond. Would you throw this? You will not throw this, right? As a statue, and the material is more precious, right? Say for example, the gold bricks. People keep the gold bricks not as a brick, they keep as a gold. You getting it? But the bricks here to build a house, not as the clay, as a brick. You're getting it? So gold bricks is not for the bricks, it's the gold. The statue of the statue or sculpture, the sculpture of a pot, not for the pot, for the gold, not for the pot, for the diamond. You're getting it? So when you become very advanced, then you see that even the true nature of the flaws are the exalted wisdom. Even the bad statue, the material is diamond. Would you throw this or not throw this? Not throw this. So that's it, when you get the eyes to see the true nature very clearly. So then there's nothing to be discarded. Everything is divine when you reach the very high level. Okay, that is the fourth one, is applicable to when you realize emptiness imbued with the spirit of bodhicitta. Okay, let's read this together. The four dharmas of Venerable Kambapa. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the dharma. May I be blessed that my dharma practice on the proper path. May I be blessed that my path is free of flaws. May I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the light of exalted wisdom. The four dharmas of Venerable Bhikshu Mahasattva, becoming utterly frustrated with the ignorance that grasps into existence, please bless me to generate, seeing all aspects of samsara as vicious and repulsive. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes others more than myself. Please bless me to have an immaculate experience of the Bodhi, wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind stream overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Edam Guru Radna Mente Lagam Ni Ratyami. Okay, foundational good qualities. The foundation of all good qualities is a kind, perfect, pure Guru. Correct devotion to him is the root of the path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, Please bless me that I rely upon with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this rebirth is found only once, is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to regenerate the mind that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. Remember how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, the results of virtues and non-virtues come and follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsaric splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them is a door to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by the Spirit of God, mindfulness, alertness, and great question arise. The root of the teaching is keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this sense of practice. Just have fallen into the sea of samsara, so have all mother migratory beings. Please bless me to see this training supreme bodhicitta and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop bodhicitta but I don't practice the three types of morality, I'll not achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have pacified distractions to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of Kamabhati, especially inside. Having become a pure vessel by training the general path, please bless me to enter the holy gate of the fortunate ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I've completely become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledges throughout my life. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, the essence of Vajrayana, by practicing with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who showed the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice their long lives, please bless me to pacify completely all out and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separate from perfect Gurus, may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stages and the paths, may quite attain the state of Vajradhara. You are Avalokiteshvara, great treasure of non-reverential compassion, a Manjushri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroyer of hosts of demons without exception, Sungabhav, crown jewel of the sage of the land of snows, Losantaba, defeat and make prostrations.
Zo
Okay, we'll do the 4-minute practice, renunciation, bodhicitta, visual entries, and the shamatha. The first, the shamatha, 5 minutes. Okay, for this practice, so in terms of the body posture, say the sitting upright, this is so important, and otherwise as well, even even when not meditating, I just see that if you learn how to sit upright, the body upright, and you can, of course, when not meditating, you can lean against the support, that's not a problem. But when you lean, while you lean, you make sure that your body is upright, your body is straight. So this is very important, because that it will become a habit to keep your body upright or body straight. With this, where the body is straight, then the channels, they are straightened. When the channel is straightened, then the energy that flows can flow very smoothly, and associated with the energy is your mind. The mind becomes very fresh, alert, and clarity. So this comes to your mind. This is one thing. And then I would say that the next few years of your practice, I would suggest you not to close your eyes. When you do, particularly when you do the single-pointed meditation or shamatha meditation, whereas when you do the meditation emptiness, bodhicitta, there, because your mind is actively thinking, actively analyzing, even with eyes closed is not a big problem. But for the single-pointed meditation, where your mind does not really analyze anything, just focus on the breath, focus on sensation, and the awareness meditation, just being aware of your own awareness and the Buddha image and so forth. There, if you keep your eyes closed, there's every danger that you can easily step into laxity. And okay, so this is what we need to remember. And then for the forward point is fine. Then number 3, identify the errors of meditation, mistakes that can potentially happen. 2, mental scattering and mental laxity. Particularly when you keep your eyes closed, there's every danger that your mind can go into some form of laxity. This one thing. And when these 2 things happen, this is where we must keep guard of your mind, to see that it's not in the form of laxity or in the form of the scattering excitement. This is very important, and for which you have to apply the remedies, introspection and mindfulness. You must know how to employ these 2 remedies at the right time and at the right proportion. Okay, ready? 5 minutes. The next is renunciation on the basis of the 4 seals. And today what we'll do is that for the 4 seals, instead of me giving instead of doing the guided meditation, I'll just indicate the lines, and then you try to do it on your own to see how much you can do it. This is analytical meditation. And then when I move to the second line, from the first to the second, you don't have to rush. I just wind up the first meditation which you're doing, and then you can move to the second. Likewise, when I say the third line, and take your time to wind up the second and move to the third. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Renunciation. Renunciation is to renounce your miseries. To renounce the miseries, we need to know how to renounce the cause of the miseries. And how best to remove the cause of miseries is by meditating on 4 seals. The first seal, all composite things seem permanent. All contaminated things of the nature of suffering. All phenomena of the nature of emptiness and selflessness. Impossible, think of the emptiness on the basis of 5 points which I indicated yesterday. First the self, six elements, the two questions, the first question, what are you seeing? Second question, where is the self? And that's the ultimate analysis. It's empty. Is this what I'm discovering? I'm not fabricating it. I discover it. It's empty. Objectively, it's empty. Number 4, space like meditative equipoise, space like emptiness. Now imagine that you come out of this meditation by moving from the ultimate analysis to convention analysis, to which the self again appears. So it's just mere appearance to the convention analysis, and as ultimate analysis, or objectively it is totally empty, therefore it is like illusion. Okay, what is the benefit of this meditation? Yes, when the self dissolves, a tinge of fear comes to my mind. Sometimes tickling sensation happens, sometimes cold waves flow through your body, sometimes extremely tranquil feeling comes to my mind, extremely tranquil feeling which I never experienced before. In a like manner, when I subject all my miseries and sorrows to the same ultimate analysis, I will discover that they are all empty from the object, and everything dissolves in the experience of emptiness. Because of which a very light feeling, the feeling acute lightness or the feeling of peace dawns upon me. Extremely stable peace, pervading peace dawns on me. Okay, just generative desire, may I experience this emptiness where all my sorrows are transcended, my peace is experienced. This desire, the aspiration is known as renunciation. Okay, slowly come out of this meditation. Now we move to bodhicitta. Again, it's going to be the base of the bullet points, not a guided meditation. So what we do is that we do the 4 immeasurables. I utter each of these 4 immeasurables. The first one, let's say, immeasurable loving kindness. 5 points under this. 1, how good that all sentient beings are endowed with happiness and cause happiness. Number 2, may. So just keep these keywords, how good. Then number 2 is may. May all beings be endowed with happiness, cause happiness. Number 3, I will take the responsibility. Number 3, I'll take the responsibility that all beings have happiness and cause happiness. Number 4, that the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, they are so happy, they send for nexus very scrutinized towards you and ultimate sentient beings, thereby instilling all happiness, cause happiness. Then number 5, that you, seeing this miracle happening, you are so relieved, you take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Okay, 5 points. How good? Number 2, may. Number 3, I'll take the responsibility. Number 4, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas are so happy they send for next to lights. Number 5, that you seeing this miracle happening, you are so relieved, you take 3 deep breaths, sigh with relief. Can you do that? Let's try. Okay. Immeasurable loving kindness. immeasurable compassion, immeasurable joy, next immeasurable equanimity, underscore all the four immeasurables as unconditional love towards all the dimensions beings. Just about this experience of unconditional love. Imagine that you're looking at the eyes of each of the sentient beings to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. Okay, with folded hands, let us take the Bodhisattva aspiration, make the Bodhisattva aspiration three times together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear mother sentient beings. Embodying this most beautiful mind of bodhicitta that possibly exists as most beautiful mind in this whole universe. And slowly transform this beautiful mind of bodhicitta into a spotless, clean, white moon disk horizontally sitting with your heart. Okay, it is amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha. But how do you know that you can become Buddha? Yes, I have a Buddha nature. And how to make it manifest? By sort of very powerful remedy of the wisdom of emptiness. Okay, let's quickly retrieve the experience of emptiness, which you meditated earlier, or the meditation on emptiness of self, over the 5 points. The self, how does the self appear to you? Object real, or like a dream? Of course, this object real. This is self-grasping ignorance. Remember, if it does exist objectively, remember what Arjuna said. If the mirage were to be water, one of those close by the mirage see water. Likewise, if this self, to be identified as I, will exist objectively, why do I see this self as a go close to its object? Okay, now let's go close to its object by subjecting itself to ultimate analysis. Analysis when I'm seeing the 6 elements. Point number 2, the 6 elements. And earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay. Now just in our ultimate analysis, which is just the 6 elements, and stance experience. 2 questions. What I see now, I'm just seeing these 6 elements. Okay, versus self, from the OT as ultimate analysis. Nor will to be seen as intrinsic one with the 6 elements, nor to be seen as intrinsic different from the 6 elements. From the object, it is total. This self is totally empty, nowhere to be seen. Okay, this is what I'm discovering. I'm not inventing it. There's a space-like experience. The self, the person simply dissolved in the experience of the ultimate analysis. I'm discovering this stance experience. This is the meditative equipoise of the space of emptiness. Okay, now imagine that you come out of this meditation, moving from the ultimate analysis to the conventional analysis. Again, the self appears. It's just mere perception to the perception of the ultimate, the conventional analysis. So it's mere perception of subjective mind is empty of objective existence. Mere perception like illusion. Therefore, this is known as the most meditative experience of illusion like emptiness. Okay, go back to the ultimate analysis. Whereas the self is totally vacuum. It dissolves, it's not there. Extends experience for one. This is the only liberating path that can coexist in this universe. Slowly transform this fearless mind of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotless and clean, thumb-sized white vajra, vertically sitting on the multi square heart. Okay, you are so fortunate. Each one of us, we are so fortunate that we have the non-dual bodhicitta now, the two bodhicittas. The moon is symbolic of the ultimate conventional bodhicitta. The altruistic intention to become Buddha for the benefit of all demon sentient beings, to exterminate the self-centered attitude, and Vajra symbolizing the ultimate bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness of the Arya Bodhisattvas. These two guarantee that all the meditative advancement will be correct. Yes, that's very true. What about my parents, the children, and all demon sentient beings? They are suffering terribly badly. Yes, out of incredible compassion. This compassion invokes the Vajra moon into your heart to multiply infinite number of times. Share oneself with the Vajra moon in the heart of mother, oneself with our heart of father, oneself with each one of the children, each of the sentient beings here in Bodh Gaya, in the country, in the entire world, in the entire the Milky Way galaxy, in the entire universe, of all the sentient beings. Just imagine, in trillions of creatures in the ocean, and trillions of creatures in the forest, in the wilderness, and in the whole universe, infinite, everyone has a share of the Vajra, which you share with them. Amazing. Let's not forget that Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they're watching us. Why not we invite all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas as guests, as a witness to undertake the ceremony
of doing this especially Bodhisattva vow, I suggest making this request. Let us, alone with all the messenger beings, let us make true prostrations to meet this request of all the Bodhisattvas to be the guests. Okay, on your right knees. Page 5050. Okay, let's wholeheartedly refer to meanings as we recite these verses. Okay, just take time to visualize all those Bodhisattvas, like your parents seeing that their child, the son and the daughter, two of them are for the first time making public appearance on behalf of the school, and the parents of the school happy and proud. They left behind all they otherwise to do that they have to do that day, and join the audience, wave their hands to you, saying that we are so proud of you, and you, very the kind, sensible, responsible girl and the boy, you take all your siblings with you, you take all the dear messengers with you, and this is all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas feel so proud of you. And the Buddhist mind, let us recite these verses, but from meanings, wholeheartedly. I go for refuge to the true chair, I confess the negative reasons usually, I rejoice with virtues of all the beings, all the precious Buddha of my heart. I go for refuge to the true chair, I confess the negative reasons usually, I rejoice with virtues of all beings, all the precious Buddha of my heart. I go for refuge to the true chair, I confess the negative reasons usually, I rejoice with virtues of all beings, all the precious Buddha of my heart. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pray to me, just as previous Buddhas have generated BODHICITTA, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for all sentient beings, I will generate BODHICITTA, and I will achieve true success in between the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pray to me, just as previous Buddhas have generated BODHICITTA, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, and I watch to successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the BODHICITTA, and just as I successfully learned the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the BODHICITTA, and I watch to successfully train the Bodhisattva practices. Just feel the joy of having received the Bodhisattva vow. Indeed, we are so fortunate that yesterday we took the Bodhisattva vow in last year, where the Bodhisattva actually presented over the gateway, and his Holiness actually paid to visit there, and all the great the masters they visited the place, but also in Nalanda, where all these brilliant wisdoms took birth there to liberate all the beings, and we had the opportunity to take this Bodhisattva out there and also learn something of the other Enlightenment texts, so precious. We're so fortunate, and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, they are so proud of you today, these 7 days. All these many lifetimes, we just wasted the time by only engaging in negative actions to harm others, engage in 10 non-virtual actions, attachment, anger, jealousy, and so forth. And all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas every time, all too many times they were expecting something good from you, but on the contrary, we've been doing only bad things. It made them so sad. And today, for times that they decided to relieve, that is amazing. The mother, after all these many years of receiving complaints from the school, and today the school principal congratulated mother that your son and daughter took them appointed as the best students of the school for this year. The mother could not believe her eyes. Yes, this is exactly what happens to all the Buddhists. They are extremely happy, so proud of you. Despite the happiness and vote the version in the hearts of all the Bodhisattvas to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend to merge with the Buddha visualize the heart, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized, and blessed. Likewise, the merged version moved from all the replicas, innumerable, infinite number of the version moved from the hearts of the Bodhisattvas. They merge, they descend like rain shower, they descend and merge with the Buddha. Then visualize the heart and the heart of your father, mother, brothers, sisters, all the siblings, all the family members, everyone here in both the animals, insects, herbivores, hell beings, gods, human beings, everyone in our country, in the whole universe, every creature in the ocean, every creature in the wilderness, all the sentient beings. Oh, that's amazing. They might become non-dual, stabilized and blessed. Amazing. So precious. So this is, of all the gifts, this is the greatest of the gifts. The manner in which we say that better than giving a piece of bread every day to a beggar is to teach the beggar how to make bread himself or herself, that even in your absence, he can feed himself. Likewise, you've generated this bodhicitta, and shared this bodhicitta presumptions, that all the demons and beings, they'll become self-sufficient, to become enlightened fully. This is amazing. This is the greatest gift. And today, you gifted all the demons and with this. And of all the offerings that we can think of making to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas, the Buddha made it very clear that one moment of generating compassion is what far excels the offering of filling the whole universe with the precious gems and offering of all Bodhisattvas. If this were to be the case, what I mentioned about having taken as Buddhism from today, this is so precious. And today you've made this offering to all Bodhisattvas. And of all the meanings of life, you see that this is the greatest meaning. The greatest meaning to give yourself the total fearlessness and infinite happiness, for which, without this, the taking the spiritual bodhisattva, the bodhicitta, and the wisdom are impossible. And today, you extracted the greatest meaning, and you have given this meaning to your life. It's amazing. And all this happens because of the kindness of all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, and particularly the Buddha Shakyamuni, having attained enlightenment at the Bodhi tree, and for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for all these many years, giving teachings on this holy land of the Buddha's enlightenment. So as a gesture of thanking all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, let us, along with all demons and beings, let us slowly stand and make 3 prostrations to all Buddhist Bodhisattvas. Let's turn to page 51. to connect us with practice of the Bodhicitta practice to next life. In the next life as well, we'll sit together 3 times. Imagine perhaps that you become all those persons. Throughout my future lifetimes, I will always be guided with the compassion of love and able to hold the true precious Bodhicitta safely in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, I will always be guided with the compassion of love and be able to hold the true precious Bodhicitta safely in the course of my life. Throughout my future lifetimes, I will always be guided with the compassion of love and be able to hold the true precious Bodhicitta safely in the course of my life. And the following verses from Bodhisattva Damdul's guide, the guided verses way of life, to feel the joy over having the ability to Bodhisattva's emptiness. So that in the future lifetimes, whenever you hear these 2 words, there's such a joy there which will make you rigorously engage in the practice without any the digression. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized and awakened mind of bodhicitta in this way, should highly praise it in the following manner. Today my life is born fruit, having well attained its human existence, I have been born in the family of the Buddha, and now I am one of the Buddha's children. Thus what reactions are due from now on, must be part of the family, never shall that this grace of the lute is known in unsettled ways. Just like blind man experiment to Jew in a heap of rubbish, likewise by some coincidence an awakened mind has been born within me. It is the supreme matter of truth that the overcomes of solitary death. It is the infinite treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world. It is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease. It is a tree that shelters all beings wandering entirely about conditioned existence. It is the universal grace that leads to freedom from our hasty state of earth. It is the drawing of the mind that expels the trauma and disturbing conceptions. It is the great sun that finally removes the mystic ignorance of the world. It is the question of the butter which is the channel of the Dharma. All those guests who have another part of conditioned existence, who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy, and it should place them in supreme bliss. Today, the presence of all the protectors, I invite the world to be blessed, and the festival of temporary and ultimate delight may cause them because of all be joyful. Introduction prayer. I dedicate the memory of those characters who first realization and teaching the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of 3 times, and to uphold in the doctrine of Scripture in his life. May I all life with this work and this merit, never suffer from the forms of the mind and the ego, and accomplish all the stages of the path, and demonstration of bodhicitta perfectly in the 2 stages. According to connections of master space that are amassed, from working with effort and this practice with great length of time, may I become the chief living Buddha for all those who mind use to find.
Bodhiswaha